Watcher to 6 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare Loadout video. Today's loadout is going to focus on disabling and destroying enemy equipment, kill streaks and vehicles in Modern Warfare multiplayer. Have you ever raged at getting blown up by an unknown random claymore? Perhaps you've been frustrated at getting killed by a VTOL jet. Or maybe you're fed up of that loser camping on the hill inside a tank. Well, today's loadout is going to solve those problems. So fix up and get ready as we become a Modern Warfare engineer. So without further ado, let's take a look at our mission briefing. Our main goal is to destroy, hack and disable enemy killstreaks, vehicles and equipment. To do this, we're going to be using a combination of perks, equipment and killstreaks of our own to sabotage the enemies. And lastly, we're going to be going with a PDW and launcher combination for an effective attack against our foes. For this engineer loadout, we want to be agile when on the move, so we can get to enemy territory more quickly, and thus will allow us to take out enemy equipment, killstreaks and vehicles more often. So we're going to be equipping a submachine gun for this loadout, and that submachine gun is the P90. The P90 in reality is a personal defense weapon, or PDW, that is manufactured by FN Herstal in Belgium. It deals a fast rate of fire with a high magazine size of 50 rounds. So we're going to take advantage of the P90's benefits by focusing on hipfire first accuracy. So let's take a look at some attachments that we're going to use to achieve this. For our first attachment, we're going to be going with the 5 megawatt laser. This laser sight increases our hipfire accuracy and also the time it takes to sprint to fire. However though, there is a downside, and that is the laser is visible to our enemies when we're aiming or firing at the hip. For our second attachment, we're going to be going with a stock, and that stock for the P90 is the fly strap. This is a clip-on strap that increases our sprint to fire speed even more, and also increases our aim walking movement speed. This attachment does come at a cost of aiming stability, but it's nothing too serious that we can't handle. For our third attachment, we're going to be choosing a weapon perk, and that weapon perk is FMJ. Full metal jacket rounds increase bullet penetration and damage against enemy equipment and kill streaks. The good thing about this weapon perk is that it does not come at any disadvantage, and since our main goal is to take out enemy equipment and kill streaks, we're going to equip FMJ as our third attachment. For our fourth attachment, we're going to be going with a rear grip, and that rear grip of course is the stippled grip tape. This increases the speed it takes for our soldier to aim down sights, and once again further increases the time it takes to sprint to fire. Again, this attachment does come at a slight cost of aim and stability, but since we're going to be focusing on hipfire first, this shouldn't be a problem. And lastly, for our fifth and final attachment, we're going to be going with an underbarrel, and once again we're going to be going with the stipple grip tape. The stipple grip tape on the underbarrel is different to the rear grip version. This gives us an increase in recoil control as well as aim and stability, at a slight cost of aim walking movement speed and aim down sight speed. Combining all these attachments together gives us the perfect hipfire weapon. So those are going to be the attachments we're going to be choosing for our P90, so let's move on now and take a look at our secondary weapon. As mentioned in the mission briefing, we are going to be going with a launcher, and so the launcher that I have chosen for this loadout is the Strela P. When choosing a launcher, it was a tough choice between the RPG and the Strela P. But in the end I decided to go with the Strela P, since it fires the rocket at a faster speed than the RPG does, and also deals a great amount of disabling damage against enemy tanks and other vehicles. So we're going to choose the Strela P for our launcher in this loadout. So those are going to be our primary and secondary weapons of choice for this class setup. Now we're going to be moving on to our perks and equipment that we're going to be choosing and selecting for this loadout. For our tier 1 perk, we're going to be choosing EOD. EOD is pretty much an obvious choice to make. This perk gives us increased protection against enemy explosives and equipment, and also this perk grants us the ability to hack enemy claymores, proximity mines and C4 explosives, which is always fun to get a free kill from. For our tier 2 perk, we're going to be choosing High Alert. High Alert gives us a yellow warning on our HUD when any enemies are aiming at us outside of our peripheral view. However, the main reason why we're using this perk is because enemies controlling kill streaks, such as the chopper gunner or IAV, also give us a yellow warning on our HUD when they aim at us, and so it gives us a chance to counter their aim and get to cover quickly before they have the opportunity to take a shot. And lastly, for our tier 3 perk, we're going to be choosing Spotter. Again, Spotter was pretty much an obvious choice to make. Spotter lets us see enemy equipment, kill streaks and vehicles through walls, floors and buildings, which makes it a lot easier for us to hack enemy equipment and take out enemy kill streaks and vehicles with our Strelo P. So now that we've covered our perks for this loadout, it's time to move on to our equipment. For our lethal slots, we're going to be choosing the Semtex. The Semtex is a sticky explosive grenade that causes devastating damage to any enemies caught up in its blast, and so by tossing one of these into a window or room, any enemies or enemy equipment like claymores and proximity mines will be killed and destroyed. For our tactical slots, we're going to be choosing the Stun Grenade. Stuns slow down enemy movement, which gives us an increased chance of securing a kill, and also it disables enemy claymores for a few seconds, which gives us enough time to get past it and either hack it or destroy it. So now that we've selected our perks and equipment for our engineer loadout, let's move on now to our field upgrade of choice and also our 3 kill streak selection. For our field upgrade, we're going to be selecting the EMP drone. This portable wooden RC plane kamikazes into a designated area and disables and destroys any electronics and equipment within that area. It also removes the enemy's HUD for a brief period too, and so that's why we're choosing the EMP drone as our field upgrade. Now let's move on to our kill streaks. For our first kill streak, we're going to be choosing the counter UAV. We want to sabotage enemies getting any UAVs or personal radars, and by equipping and calling in a counter UAV, this drone scrambles enemy radar, as well as scrambling the HUD if the enemy is within the counter UAV drone's proximity. For our second kill streak, we're going to be choosing the cruise missile. The cruise missile can take out small areas of enemies and also blow up and destroy enemy kill streaks and vehicles from a high altitude, so that's why we're selecting the cruise missile. And finally, for our third kill streak, we're going to be choosing the sentry gun. Being an engineer, we can assemble equipment with ease, and so we'll go with the sentry gun as our third kill streak, in which our soldier assembles an automated sentry turret to cover an area and kill any enemies who aren't using cold-blooded in its path. Combining our weapons, perks, equipment and kill streaks all together will certainly leave a devastating blow to our enemies. And that, troops, wraps up my engineer loadout for Modern Warfare multiplayer. Next time you boot up Modern Warfare, definitely give this class setup a try in game and have fun with the enemy. If you did enjoy this loadout video, then do give the video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it a lot. And if you have any friends that are interested in this sort of content, then make sure to share the video out with your friends and help give my channel more widespread exposure. If you haven't subscribed already, then make sure to subscribe to the channel, and when you do hit the subscribe button, make sure you also click on the bell notification icon next to it. That way you're always notified of my future uploads. As mentioned in previous videos, I have started up my own Patreon account that will further help me and progress the channel. Anything from as little as $1 a month is going to help me out big time, and so I appreciate any patrons who are willing to donate. My Patreon link will be the first link in the description below. So until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.